Now, when Jesus was casting out a demon, I want to give you this story because I think the principle here is what we fail to identify, we will never be delivered of. And if you don't realize what your problem is, then you can never be free to be who you fully are. And it talks about this demon-possessed man that Jesus had confronted in Luke 8:29. And it says, Jesus had commanded the impure spirit to come out of the man. Many times it had seized him, and though he was chained hand and foot and kept under guard, he had broken his chains and had been driven by the demon into solitary places. So this was a tormented person. And it's interesting because it talks about Jesus trying to cast out this demon. It's not coming out. Like, what? Jesus, the Son of God, Son of Man? All powerful, almighty, what's going on here? And this is unusual to read this in the Gospels because you would think, man, if Jesus says get out, the demon leaves. But then in verse 30, it says, then Jesus asked, what is your name? Legion, he replied, because many demons had gone into him. Jesus identified the evil before he could cast it out. So I think the principle here is what we fail to identify, we fail to get rid of. And if we fail to identify what our problem is in the church today, some people you're not being loving enough. You're not being accepting enough. You're not creating an atmosphere of belonging enough. So then we're using the tool of love, and we're just like, well, maybe we just need more love, more love, more love. When in fact, the answer might be more anger and more hatred, right? Maybe that's the problem. And I want to walk you through this course so that we can examine ourselves. And are we supposed to use the tool of hate instead of the tool of love? If we don't identify that could be the problem, I feel like we're going to be stuck, okay? Because there's a ditch on either side of the road. There's love and there's hate. But if you're too loving and never put a boundary down and never say, I hate that, we're not doing that, the enemy will keep us in that ditch. But then if we get angry and unforgiving, then we become called a Leviathan spirit, right, and controlling and angry and bitter. That's another ditch. So the enemy wants to get us in either ditch of the road. And I believe the church has been lured into this trap of showing compassion when we need to show anger instead of rising up in this, we will not tolerate this anymore. We've been seduced to be tolerant